Good afternoon. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can find us on television, channel 182, on Charter Communications. That's in North Alabama. Syndicated, you can find us on Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. I begged her to come back because you guys have been wanting to see, because the very first time you were on the show just a few weeks ago.
I can't believe you guys have such a demand for this.
So you had the articles, but the problems I couldn't see them close up. So I had you to send those pictures to me. So as you're talking about them, let's go through these again. And again, this is about 5 UFO days, okay, which is coming up super, super soon. We only got part of this done. So let's talk about this picture. I want you to tell me what this is about.
That's just, okay, y'all recognize that old-fashioned computer paper. As I was walking into the gas
I have to say, computers were faster back then, though, because they didn't have all the graphics and all that. But go for it. I'm sorry.
You know, that brings back memories. But
yes,
I would walk in, and I knew he would be standing in the door of his office, my city editor, Randy, and he would hand me a stack of, here's calls, you know, a lot of calls, more sightings every day. And that was just one of them. Just, you know. I'm trying to put you guys in my shoes.
The fair tax.
And actually, being in your shoes, I'm gonna tell you what. It was like overnight popularity for you.
That's just another one. I sent so many. We scanned these in because there were so many articles. People say, "Oh well, that was just a fluke," but no.
No. I mean, they just
went on and on and on and on, and that photo was.
I'm glad we got a good close up of this, because
there is one of just that photo too in there somewhere. But you know what? That I want to give credit where credit is due, and that photo was actually allowed. They were another local. Paper allowed us to use it, and her name or his name, I'm not sure which, is Terry Baker, and that was a laser actually photo, but it was taken on March 10th.
And see, you can see something coming down here. Let me see if I can find that.
This is the tree line right here. You can find that there. Yeah, there's one of the picture up close.
We're going to talk about him in just a second, but yeah, there was a closer one, and I think it's on down just a few.
Okay, but long story short, I just want to give credit where credit's due. Terry Baker was the co-owner of the Weekly Post, a newspaper in Rainsville, and she said that she took this picture Thursday night near 5. Now, this came out. It's dated March 10th, so that was the very. That is a month after the first sighting. It was first sighted on February 10th, I believe, showing an alleged UFO just above the tree line. You can see the tree line at the bottom, and the moon shines at the upper left. And 5 experienced a traffic jam last weekend. It says, I'm reading the cut line, as sky watchers flooded the town. So Terry Baker is the one that gets credit for that photo.
Now let's go to this one. There it is. That's the one I was looking for earlier. That's the one you were just talking about.
It's a little bit darker there, but I tried to make it so you could read the cut line, which is sideways, but you can also see the UFO. It's right above the tree line down there. And that was also... actually, she held the aperture open for a long time to get that. So it was hovering. It wasn't moving. Okay.
Now, what's this about?
Well, after the crowd started, amassing in town, in this small town, this fellow, his name is Nathan Jones, he began doing, it looks like... what do they call it when they spray the paint on? I forgot what there's a name for that. But he
graphics art or something.
Yes, graphics art. But you got to remember, this is 1989. He prepares some T-shirts which were sold to sightseers at the Friday night in 5.
I bet you couldn't keep enough of them.
And there are some close-ups.
Screen print.
up the t-shirts later on, but might be right after this, I don't know. But that first one says, well, after it's just got 5 UFO, or I survived the 5 UFO, and of course people were describing the side view of it as banana, so there's banana in the sky. So, and then there's some close-ups of the other ones, but there's one that says, I seen it. You always get that with tornadoes,
Of course,
with,
yeah.
with UFOs.
Always. There's that print again. But let's go down to this one right here.
Oh, that's a handwritten letter from someone that gave me a specific description of seeing this, and this was in Southside. And it was about the same time, because that thing was traveling fast, so fast. It was going from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. I named in
People here in Geraldine saw it.
It hovered over Geraldine, according to what the police officials told me. In fact, I said that Ricky Dobbins was the one that. Actually, in the last interview, I referred to Ricky Dobbins because I had his name written on that card, business card, as the fellow that did the film, but he didn't. In this article on March the 2nd, they were getting frustrated because this wasn't going away. And so the headline that day, on the March the 2nd, says 5 area law enforcement officers say they are becoming frustrated because they have no explanation for an elusive flying object reported by more than 100 DeKalb County residents in the past 2 weeks. But how do you catch a UFO in Sand Mountain? That's
too many mountains and too many trees, and then you got the water too.
That's my writing. I had to bring some humor into it.
Kind of break up the monotony just a little bit.
Well, the guy with the t-shirts, I seen it, and I survived the 5 UFO. That's what he put on there. On Wednesday night, he was the fire chief, Ricky Dobbins, sat in the Grenoble Mills, I don't know if that's still here,
I've not seen it,
parking lot with other skywatchers, later jockeying his 4-wheeler along trails in a wooded area on the outskirts of town. 5 dispatcher Sheila Smith stayed on the phone 20 minutes with a friend 4 miles away. Both women described in detail to each other what they saw in the sky, attempting to identify this object. DeKalb County Sheriff's Deputy Dale Orr kept vigil in the parking lot of Foodland in Geraldine. He sat there.
Right down here. That's just right across. I could throw a rock at Foodland in Geraldine.
In Geraldine. Okay, so with binoculars, focused on one spot over Geraldine City Hall where the brightly lighted object hovered. It was hovering over City Hall. And this is according to Sheriff's Deputy Dale Orr. And these are people that don't tell. I mean, I got this information from their own mouth, so they don't tell you these things. They don't tell a reporter these things.
There's no doubt it had to be something because of all the different. I mean, they were just calling in those reports one after the other as it was traveling.
She could not fill them fast enough. I tell you what. The search goes on. UFO watchers from around the southeast are expected to converge again Friday night in 5. Ms. Smith said things were quite busy Wednesday. It was like every day became, crazy. So
intense.
They couldn't even do their normal day-to-day business almost for UFO hunters, bumper to bumper in their town, this small town.
People were traveling from all over the world flying in.
This is a farming community. And you said this is also reaching television and a lot of people. So, guys, this is a small farming community with a main drag road through town. And
that is so true.
And I could read on and on and on. There are so many names in here, you wouldn't believe it, that are credible witnesses. Now, I have to read this to let you know what extent I went to after hearing what they had to say, because my thought process was, well, let's see if anybody has released something like from an Air Force base or anything like
Yes, that's
this.
the first thing you were probably thinking.
Exactly. That's where I wanted
A credible reporter, okay? She didn't work for the National Enquirer. I mean, just like credible.
What? I wrote one for the Globe one time.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
it wasn't. Well, that was one time. One and done. Okay.
We've got to go to a commercial break. Keep your thoughts. We'll be right back in just a minute. Everybody hang in there, okay? At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Hardinger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonesmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community. Whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need, toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Hardinger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Hardinger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors, and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018. Okay, we are back. My name is Donna, and I am your...
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community
Your host
College.
of The Edge. This is a co-host right here. You didn't know you were in television too, did you?
Oh my goodness.
She's been a co-host here several times.
Do I get paid?
No. We'll just add another zero at the end right down there. So LaRue Hardinger is with us, and a journalist, a very serious one, by the way. I might say this. When I heard that you were the one who broke the news, I mean, first of all, I knew you, and I was like, I can't see. So what was your thought process when this came aboard?
I was totally amazed, but at the same time,
You're a reporter, you got to investigate, right?
at the same time, I believe these men because my job was to keep up with police news in 8 counties. Okay, I had to check in with certain police departments and with state troopers every day, first thing. And the question was the same: any wrecks, arrests, or incident reports.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would give you what happened. And then if there was anything major, like involving a fatality or something like this, or
Drug bust or
murder or anything like this, that would be an incident report. Any felonies, those are the ones you pull out and you make a story of those, and the rest just go in what they used to call the police blotter, you know. But I even checked on this UFO deal. I even checked to see if there was any aircraft at all in the DeKalb County area, and it was said that there was none in this area by Huntsville Airport, Maxwell Air Force Base in Montgomery, Fort McClellan in Anniston, and Air National Guard Headquarters in Birmingham, Montgomery, and Nashville. I still have those phone numbers in my folder where I called them, and I'm such OCD person. I wrote down the time and the date that I called them, because I know documentation is everything, right? It's everything. So all I know is I believed personally the people that called me. Now, doubtless there were probably some who caught 5 fever, okay, that thought they saw something.
Yeah, you're going to have that.
I mean, it's just the law of averages, right? But there were too many credible witnesses, and I believe in the very first interview we had, I named off all of the law enforcement people who said, yes, we saw this, and they all described it the same. The very first night that this happened. And if you want to see that, you can go back in
Donna's... they didn't, because it was happening kind of fast, so it's not like they could get together and collaborate their stories or anything like that. So that's what made it sound...
Oh, well, they all knew what was going on because everybody heard the radios. They could hear each other on the radio. And on Sand Mountain, with all of these, okay, it included Tenbrook, it included Dawson, it included Geraldine and Fife, of course.
Skirrum.
And Skirrum and all of that. And then it moved on down, apparently, towards Gadsden and then Etowah County.
So it went through, like, Douglas, probably jumped over Douglas.
I'll have to go, you know, I couldn't name all of them, but I do know that those were involved. And Fife is where it seemed to gain all of the notoriety. because it was observed hovering over the city hall, and I mean, before it took off. And then the different law enforcement agencies from different jurisdictions started, okay, I'm at your county line. It's your time to take over. Your city limits time for you to take over. And they were ready to go. This was nighttime. These were night shift officers, and they said, we are used to looking at things at night. And this is unlike anything in our years of experience we've ever seen. So if you want to go through some of the pictures, it might jog my memory on other things.
Let's do that. Let's go. Okay, we're at 9 right here. We saw the 5 police department right there. I'm sorry, that's 9.
There was a movie made about it, and actually I was there, and he was posing with this for that movie, for the actual story that would go with the movie, because they wanted a 5 police department sign in the movie. So and that came on.
So that's
later.
where that came from. And then
there's the close up of one of the shirts that said, "I survived the 5 UFO."
And it seems like right up above that, maybe let's look at number 17. Yeah, there's the other one.
And that, yeah, or maybe that's it. I can't read it from this screen, but I showed 3 different ones. One of them said, "I seen it," and the other one said, that might be the same one. See, go to the next one.
Okay,
and see.
so here's that one. It's I think it's the same one, isn't it?
No, see, there's the next one. I went down the line taking pictures.
Okay, that was part of the...
Okay, so one of them said, I survived the 5 UFO. And the other one said, I seen it.
Absolutely.
Or I believe. That is the issue of UFO magazine that's worldwide that was sent to me to prove to me. They said, if I was hesitant when they called me to see if we can do a conglomeration of all of your articles, provided your publishers will let us do this. But I said, I want to see a magazine first. And so I want to see your publication.
But they overnighted that to you.
They did. And that was the one they overnighted to me. But the blue one, which is pictured somewhere later, that is the one that actually...
So you can show that. We've got this.
This is 1989, of course. And at the top on the table of contents, events in Alabama. News begins with a wrap-up feature on the slew of unmistakable UFO sightings, which recently brought nationwide, if not worldwide, attention to a small southern town. And then it starts out with the Alabama UFO story, and then it goes on and on and on, and it uses the paper articles, the newspaper articles that I wrote the story that covered it all. But then they would stick in pictures of my newspaper articles that I got permission from the Gaston Times to let them use. But this is, yes, this is the one. Eyewitness reports were also given by Fire Chief Ricky Dobbins, Chief Randall Barnett of Geraldine Police Department, Deputy Dale Orr of the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office, Crossville Patrolman Chuck Priest, and by Alabama State Trooper Van Douglas of Fort Payne. And they all gave the same the description. And they didn't giggle once when they talked to me. They were relieved that someone believed them. And I think that's why they held it back for so long, because this happened on February 10th, and I finally broke it when they called me. I was working night shift on a weekend, and I got the call. And I think when they saw it was not going away, I think of this as an honor that they chose me to call. They could have called anyone, okay? There are a lot of reporters out there, but they chose me, and I'm glad they did.
Well, they knew your background. They knew that it wasn't be some little giggly whatever. They knew you were a serious reporter.
oh, I was an investigative reporter. I've investigated many
So
serious
they knew you
topics
for that.
and have awards for that. So, and I'm not to brag, but that kind of, you know, how you start out doing something and then you kind of find your niche.
Now, what's
So-
this? Five.
Okay. And this is where the fellow who's creating the short feature film that played off of the Fife UFO story, he is actually, I took this picture as they were discussing it because this is one of the original men who was in his patrol car that actually saw the UFO. He was the one of the first two. So I felt like this would be a great photograph for the newspaper, and they did use it in the newspaper because, you know, I got the five. It was at the fire department, but as you know, fire department back then and the city hall were all in the same place, and I think they still are. And they've changed a bit, but that's why they were standing. You know, they were actually at the city hall.
We've got a couple more minutes left, so I've got a couple more pictures.
That,
So what's
that
this
is
about?
this is the same guy.
Okay.
He crafted this miniature UFO with lights to use in this film.
Okay. And then what's this one about?
And then drunken driving film lands in local theaters, and it showed in several hundred theaters across the southeast. And basically what it was, you know, kids with their beer from their parents' fridge go out for a night, two couples, and then they see a UFO coming overhead, and it zaps their beer so that they're not drinking and driving. And basically it was a don't drink and drive film, but it was so well done, and because it was on the coattails of the UFO story, it played in a lot of local theaters, and I saw it in an Albertville theater with my family, and I was just flabbergasted. They did a great job with it, and it got the message across.
So, in your opinion, what did everybody see?
It's unidentified, so
What else can you say?
I think they all saw something.
Yeah.
There were too many. There were too many people.
So you couldn't say crop duster because it was at night. I mean, why would you have a crop duster coming in at
You
night?
guys know I called all the authorities that would have had something in the air. Well, domestic authorities.
Yeah.
That was in 1989. But anyway. I'm sorry.
And there was no internet to look up anything.
No.
I mean, back then.
No. And the paper didn't come out like every day, but I have to say I believed the people that called me. I believe every single one of them except for a couple. And I do know they saw something. So I hope they continue the UFO days. I do. And you guys be sure and show up to the UFO Days Festival, which is the last Saturday of August.
And bring a toy, too,
Yes,
by the
it's
way.
from 9 a.m. till 10, and Toys for Tots will be there. I'm the coordinator of Toys for Tots. Yeah, that's another hat I wear. And so we need the toys. Last year we served 1,500 children, slightly less than that. And boy, do we need your help. We're starting early this year.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, please send an email my way, Donna@donnasedge.com.
Take questions,
Yeah.
UFO questions.
Let's do it. Then next time you're on the show, you're going to get inundated with questions.
Oh my gosh.
Send questions, okay? Again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, LaRue, for being on the show
Thank
with
you.
me.